محمد وعجل فرجهم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أردنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. A second one for the love of Fatima to Zahra alayha salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And a third one with the loudest voice for our living Imam, Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. One of the benefits of sending salawat is that it removes 100 doors of bala. Salawat protect you from difficulties and hardship befalling on you. This is why in these majalises, I love to hear the salawat. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. In the few beginning nights, we went over the benefits of dhikr al-maut, or the remembrance of Abdullah Hussain and his companions, and we went through the benefits that we can get from attending these majalises, from keeping ourselves in constant remembrance of dhikr al-maut. We went through some benefits, and I hope, inshallah, you guys benefited from it. And you guys apply it so that you can become true Hussainites, inshallah. From this half of Muharram, from the 5th on, inshallah, I want us now together to really see how this love that was manifested in Karbala towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through its utmost, how was it obtained? How was it achieved? And was it open? Is it open for us? Can we also gain this love that Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam manifested to the utmost? Can we also gain that? And inshallah, through these nights, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the blessing of our living Imam, we'll go through it, inshallah. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You see, before the manifestation of Karbala, meaning the actual war that took place, this knowledge of this beautiful manifestation that took place at that time, that knowledge was already with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The knowledge was already there. Just bear with me a little bit. Just like a painter, before the manifestation of the painting get manifested, the painter, he has knowledge, right? He has knowledge of what it is he's going to paint. But before the actual painting manifests itself, that knowledge is already in that painter's mind. He thinks about it, contemplate, he figure out what it is he wants to bring out. Then it takes stages. It goes from him figuring out to the knowledge, to now going down, getting the material, getting the pen, getting the crayons, drawing it out until it actually manifests itself. It's the same for our creation. Before we got created, before the soul and everything, the actual us now, before it manifested, that knowledge was already there. The knowledge of our creation was already there. Allah, He first in this immaterial world, the knowledge of our creation, then it came down to the semi-immaterial, which we call Al-Muddar. Al-Muddar, right? This place before the official manifestation of the soul, the ruh. And this Al-Muddar, just like the painter, before he put it on paper, that knowledge is there. Are you guys with me? Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. It's a little bit of thinking. So, the knowledge of our creation was already there in that semi-material realm, which we call Al-Muddar, right? The mountains, everything is there before it comes here. Bear with me. This is why in the ayah that I just recited, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Inna aradna al-amanata ala samawati wal ard wal jibali fa abayna an yahmilnaha wa ashfaqna minha wa hamalaha al-insan innahu kana dhuluman jahulan. Indeed, we offered or presented the trust, this amana. So now, the reason why I build this preliminary, this analogy, is because now we're going to a realm before we manifest it here. Just like the knowledge of Karbala was in Al-Muddar, the knowledge before the actual reality got manifested. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is saying in this Al-Muddar, indeed, we offered the trust, an amana, this trust. An amana is an entrustment that when it's given to you, you have to return it back the same way you got it. The same way. Allah is saying, indeed, we offered or presented this amana, this trust, to the heavens and to the earth and the mountains, but they all refused to undertake it. Wow. This amanat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about, He offered it to the mountains, to the heavens, to the skies. They refuse it. He offered it to the mountains, refuse it. To the earth, He refused it. And then Allah continues and said, وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا. They became afraid of this amana. It became a burden to them. They cannot bear it. مَا يَحْمِلْنَا. They cannot. What is this amana? This is what, throughout these nights, up to the letter of Abdullah Hussain, to his brother that he left, we inshallah going to figure out what is this amana. And this amana, this entrustment, is it only for a certain set of people? Is this amana, this entrustment, is open for all of us? Why the mountains and the earth and everything is scared of it? Is so much for, is a burden for them. And then Allah continues and said, وَحَمَلْهَا الْإِنسَانِ. Now mankind came and said, we can bear this amana, this entrustment. We can have it. ولكن إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. But mankind, insan, they are oppressors within themselves. They oppress themselves, their ego, their greed. وجهولا, and ignorant. So then, who it is capable of bearing and accepting this amana? Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. You see, in this alamuddar, in this semi-immaterial world where the heavens was built, everything was manifested, not in the physical. In this alamuddar, bear with me. When we in our creation in this alamuddar, we testified to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We made a commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this alamuddar. But then when we came here, we became dhuluman, jahulan. We started oppressing ourselves. We started letting our ego and our vices take over. This is why this amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is entrusting for us also is very difficult because of ourselves. We have many hadiths that in this alamuddar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already put in us, had already what our obligation and duties is when we come here. In this alamuddar, we have riwayat from Imam Baqir alayhi salam that Nabi Adam had a conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this alamuddar before our physical manifestation. Here, Adam is saying to his Lord, Qala Adamu ya Rabbi, ma aktharu dhuriyati wal amru ma khalaqtahum fama turidu minhum bi akhdhaka al mithaqa alayhim. You see, Adam alayhi salam in this alamuddar before our manifestation, he is saying, Oh ya Rabbi, oh my Lord, from all of my dhuriyat, my progeny, what is this command that you want from them? Wal amru ma khalaqtahum. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us for? He already told us in this alamuddar. He already testified in this alamuddar. In the same place that Allah is saying, I want to entrust you this amana. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his answer to Adam, when Adam is asking him, what do you want from my dhuriyah? What do you want from my progeny? What do you expect from them? He says, يَعْبُدُونِ لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا وَيُؤْمِنُونَ بِرَسُولِهِ. Subhanallah. In this alamuddar already, Allah is saying what he wants from us. يَعْبُدُونِ, to worship me, to serve me. But you see, this يَعْبُدُونِ here also means to have full understanding and ma'rifah of me. This is one of the biggest problems that I find with our youths today, especially in their household. This is where the problem starts. Because when I speak with the youths and I ask them, do you have any type of conversation in your household about Tawheed, about Ma'rifatullah? This is where it starts. If you go to your mailbox and you find $10,000 with a letter saying in it, this is a gift for you for your wedding, would you be happy? Would you be happy? Right? Very happy, right? You don't know where it come from, but you're happy. Man, somebody put 10,000 for my wedding. MashaAllah, where this come from? You're happy. But now, if that same 10,000 that you're going to go in your mailbox, you get it and you see where it come from, who sent it to you, is that gratitude of yours towards that 10,000 going to be the same as the one you don't know? You're going to be more happier, right? Because now you know where it come from. Right or wrong? You know where it come from. So now that gratitude, that enjoyment, that you don't even call them, and because you know where it come from. It's the same with Allah. The more we know Allah and understand Allah, you will see the more we do shukr to Him. The more we submit ourselves to Him. Because now we learning to know Him, to understand Him. When they asked Imam Ali alayhi salam, how do you worship Allah? He said, I worship Allah like He's in front of me. Because he had utmost understanding and marifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the most important subject in the science of aqaid, belief, tawheed, ma'rifah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here Allah is saying, Ya'buduni, have full ma'rifah of me. Submit yourself to my knowledge. Educate yourself. Don't waste your time. Remember yesterday I said, you waste your time as a youth, you cannot bring it back. Cannot bring it back. Ya'buduni, have full understanding of me, have full ma'rifah of me. If somebody walk in here right now and say, I'm an atheist, but I want something in me knows that there is a Lord. Can you prove to me Allah exists? You cannot take Quran and Hadith to prove Allah existence because he doesn't believe in it. It has to be pure akal. It has to be pure akal. You have to be able, as a Muslim, as a mu'min, as somebody said that they are followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you're supposed to be able to prove Allah's existence. Don't waste your time. Allah is saying, Ya'buduni, because once you get full ma'rifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then comes, La yushrikuna bi shay'a. Do not attribute anything towards me. The tablet can be something that you can be doing shirk with if it's taking you away from Allah's remembrance. Money, greed, jealousy, all of these things becomes our iman if we allow it to take full control of us. Sometimes we do shirk to the little, and we don't even know about it because we so worried and busy in ourselves with everything other than Allah. Allah is saying, Ya'buduni in Alam ad-Dar, before we even came here, in that creation, Allah is already putting that in us. This is why whenever we fall in difficulty and hardship, we always try to look for something to take us out. It's in us. Allah is saying, Ya'buduni la yushrikuna bi shay. Then he says, Wa yu'minuna bi rasuli. And believe in my messengers. Ya'buduni, have full knowledge. Submit yourself fully to Allah. No one other than Allah. When you do that, you will see that you will not do shirk towards Allah. You will not attribute or ascribe anything towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then after that, he said, then believe in my prophet. You see? This is why in the chapter of Quran 51 verse 56, Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That I have not created jinn and mankind except to worship. Ya'budun, to have ma'rifah, to have full understanding of me. Just like the Sahabas of Abdullah al-Hussain. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. He said, وَيُؤْمِنُونَ بِرَسُولِهِ, right? To worship, to have full belief and follow and worship who? يُؤْمِنُونَ, believe in my prophets and everything to the utmost. So that one tear for Abdullah Hussain can have a lot of meaning in it, can change your heart to the utmost. Follow the prophet, the teachings of the prophet, and apply it. And in Surah Azab, he comes and he says, after in Al-Madar, he's telling you, yu'min bi rasuli, but not just rasuli. He goes and he says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu atiyullaha wa atiyu rasula wa ulil amri minkum. Obey Allah wa Rasulullah wa ulil amri minkum. Those who have authority, meaning Ahlul Bayt wa Masum, who can preserve the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, I did not create the jinn and mankind except to know me, have ma'rifah, have full understanding of me. In the same Al-Madar, before we go into the earth, in the same Al-Madar, here wa Rasulullah, here is beautiful hadith. Qala Rasulullah, and he's quoting about Allah. He says, Qala Allah Ta'ala, Abdi, O my servants. Abdi, O my servants. Idha araftani, if you know me, listen to this, if you know me, if you have full understanding of me, then wa'abattani, then you will serve me, you will worship me to your utmost. Now you know me. Because you know me now, you will worship me to your utmost. Warajautani, and only have hope in me. Only in Allah. No one else. Hope only in Allah. He continued and he says, Walam tushrik bi shay'ah. You see? Know me. Worship me. Have full hope in me, in my promise. Then, when you do that, Lam yushrik bi shay'ah, you will not ascribe anything with Allah. Then he goes, غَفَلْتُ لَكَ عَلَى مَا كَانَ مِنْكَ. See now, he says that I will forgive every single thing from you. You know him now. You will not ascribe anything for him. He says, غَفَلْتُ لَكَ عَلَى مَا كَانَ مِنْكَ. He forgives every single thing within you. Walawi istiqbaltani, and if you meet me, if you come to me, if you come towards me, Allah is saying now, bimil'il ard khataya wa dhunuba. He said, all of these sins that you have within you that can fill the whole earth, He will remove all of it. All of it. This is what he's saying. Araftani wa abattani wa jawtani wa lam tushrik bi shay'a غفلت لك على ما كان منك. He has forgiven you. He has forgiven you every single thing within you. Even if all these sins cover the whole earth, Allah will forgive you. Because now you have ma'rifah. You have full understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He continued and he says, Istiqbaltuka bimilliha maghfirah. And he will come to you with all forgiveness. Subhanallah. Wa adfillaka wala ubali. Have full understanding, have ma'rifah, tawheed, understand Allah, understand how his attributes work. You will see that you will kill greed, you will kill jealousy. You will know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't give one more than the other. He's just. He gives you as much as you put in. Salawat. In Sahifa Sajadiyah, the Imam Zain al-Abidin, he showed us what is the biggest rights towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is our right towards Allah? What is Allah's rights towards us? He said, Hukukullah, the right of Allah. Hakullah al-Akbar. فَأَمَّا حَقُّ الْأَكْبَرِ فَإِنَّكَ تَعْبُدُهُ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِهِ شَيْءٍ فَإِذَا فَعَلْتَ ذَلِكَ بِالْإِخْلَاصِ جَعَلَ لَكَ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ أَن يَكْفِيكَ أَمْرَ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ وَيَحْفَظَ لَكَ مَا تُحِبُّ مِنْهُمَا. Subhanallah. The greatest right of Allah against you, against me, against us is that you worship him without associating anything towards him. You understand? This is already in Al-Madar before we even came here. This is already put in us. I want you to understand this so that you can understand the greatest love that was manifested in Karbala, so you can understand this amana and we can take benefit of this amana, this entrustment that Allah is talking about. The greatest right of Allah against you, against us, against me, is that we worship him without associating anything with him. Then he goes and he says, فَإِذَا فَعَلْتَ ذَلِكَ. And if you do this, if we do this, bil-ikhlas, with pure sincerity, with pure ikhlas, becoming mukhlis, becoming pure. You see? You do this with ikhlas, Allah is saying, جَعَلَ لَكَ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ. When you do this with sincerity, Allah is making it an obligation upon himself. Allah is making it wajib upon himself. He said, if you do this with sincerity and ikhlas, ja'ala laka ala nafsi. He has made it wajib upon himself to give you everything in the affairs of this world and the next. See that? Ma'rifah. When you have full ma'rifah and full understanding, you will not attribute and ascribe anything to Allah. Then, take the teachings from the prophets, from the A'imma. Allah is telling us this in Al-Madar, so that when we come here and we move on to the next, we cannot say we didn't know, we didn't testify. Salawat. فأما حق الله الأكبر فإنك تعبده لا تشرك به شيء فإذا فعلت ذلك بالإخلاص جعل لك على نفسي أن يكفيك أمر الدنيا والآخرة ويحفظ لك ما تحب منها. Allah will give you every single thing that you love with true ikhlas, with true sincerity. Whatever it is you put your mind and you want to do in this dunya, He will give it to you because you have submitted yourself fully to Him. This is why Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam says, Salawat. He says, whoever from among the servants of Allah devote himself towards that which Allah loves, you hear that? Towards that which Allah loves, Allah too devotes himself to that which He loves. And whoever resorts entirely to Allah, meaning that you become in one with Allah, becoming in one, that entrustment, that amana, that we will find out what it is, inshallah. Becoming in one with Allah, just like Abdullah Hussain, he was in one with Allah. That's why he was able to manifest that love that he manifested in Karbala. Imam Jafar as-Sadiq is saying, whoever from among the servants of Allah, meaning us here in these majalises of Abdullah Hussain, devote himself towards that which Allah loves, Allah too devotes himself to that which He loves. And whoever resorts entirely to Allah, Allah protects him. SubhanAllah. Protects you. Meaning that muwakkil that we spoke about a couple of nights, that agent, shaitan, he will not come close to you in the party of Allah. SubhanAllah. Allah is saying you will be in His party. He is protecting you now. Nothing can befall you. No harm will come to you. What better protection than Allah? He's protecting you. And you will be secure from all calamities. This is why the Imam continued and he said, indeed, does not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Innal muttaqina fi maqamin amin. Subhanallah. That you are in a secure place. Allah is putting you in a place that nothing could bother you. No matter what difficulties, no matter what hardship come upon you, He's saying you in the party of Allah. You in His party. You in His guardianship. Just like those Sahabas. Just like them. Then he goes, the Imam continues. And he continues and he says, whoever has been given three things, subhanAllah, whoever has been given three things will not be deprived of three others. Allah is saying, whoever I have given these three things, they will never be deprived from three other things. And these three things work together automatically. He said, whoever has been given supplication, dua, has been given the answer. Whoever Allah has given supplication, dua, has been given the answer. He's saying, call upon me, I will answer you. Call me, supplicate towards me, Allah loves that. And I will answer you. Whoever has been given supplication has been given the answer. Whoever has been given gratitude. Didn't we spoke about that yesterday? When the light goes off and it comes back on, how many of us say salawat? He said, whoever he has been given gratitude has been given abundance. has been given abundance. And whoever has been given trust has been given sufficiency. This is what he says in the Quran. La in shakartum la azidannakum. That whoever do shukr for me, I will yazid, I will give them extra. I will give them extra. He says, whoever calls on me, ud'uni astajib lakum. I will answer you. And whoever trusts in Allah, He is sufficient for him. Sufficient for him. This is why there was a companion in Karbala. We can consider him like one of the 10 top of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. An old man. But he came to Abu Dhar al-Ghafari as a Christian man. Same color as us. So be proud. Be proud. Because he made us reverts. Proud. He came to show us that we also, no matter what background we come from, we can become and manifest to the utmost to Imam Zaman. He was an old man when he arrived to Karbala. His name is John. Remember that. John. He was a Christian, very devoted. When Abu Dhar al-Ghafari was exiled in the time of the Caliph of Uthman, he was freed. He was freed. He could have gone back to Africa. The Imam, Abu Dhar said, you are free now. He said, no. I'm going with Amir al-Mu'minin. So imagine the upbringing and the teachings that John had. Because not only did he serve Amir al-Mu'minin, he served Imam Hassan. And after he served Imam Hassan, he went to Imam al-Hussain. He made me proud. When I read his story, it showed me. And it should show everyone who is a revert, who is a convert, that you can reach to your utmost potential. He followed Abu Abdullah al-Hussain all the way to Karbala. As old as he is. Some narration says, because of the color of his complexion, maybe translated wrong, that he had a very bad scent. Well, I'm sorry to say it. Maybe that scent come from the rotten skin of all those people that was being at that time until this time with this disease that in our heart of racism. Maybe that was that scent. Because he was a true devotee to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. It is said that on the day of Ashura, on the 10th of Ashura, John, when he saw all of these companions coming to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, dead, deceased, the Imam will bring them back. He went to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain and he said, yeah, let me go fight. Let me sacrifice for you. The Imam looked at him and he said, jihad is not wajib on somebody who is of old age. How can I let you go into this battle? Listen to the words of John. Listen to his words. The Imam is saying, John, you are free. You can go. He's saying, John, you join us to earn your living. You are free to leave. Go. Why are you still here? This is why I tell you, listen to this. Because you can reach your utmost potential like John. The Imam is testing his Imam. The Imam knows how much love and how much Iman John have. But he's testing him. He's trying to see if he's going to truly submit and manifest himself to the utmost. The Imam, that's what they do. They bring the potential out of you. John, he said to the Imam, I share your meals in good time and desert. How now can I desert you in hardship? How can I leave you now, Abdullah al-Hussain? You have given me everything. And now this now a test come and I'm going to leave you? This is how we need to be with Imam Zaman. Now I'm going to leave you? He said, I am a humble servant. Honor me with a sense of belonging to a heavenly lineage. SubhanAllah. These are the words of John. He's telling about Abdullah, honor me, let me get this honor. To sacrifice myself, to belong to something. Let me belong to you. Let me belong to this heavenly lineage, Ya Abdullah al-Hussain. An old man, some say he was even 90 years old. SubhanAllah, 90. He said, by Allah, I shall never leave you, Abu Abdullah. I shall never leave you. Joseph, I shall never leave you, Abu Abdullah. By Allah, I shall never leave you. It is said, instead, I shall fight until my blood gets mixed with yours. He wanted to become one with Abdullah. He could have been free. He's saying, no, I want my blood to be mixed with yours. Look at him. Look how he manifested himself. We have a riwayat. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. He says, look at this John. Look how brave he is. He said, I was sitting on the evening before the morning, Ya Allah, in which my father was killed. Ya Allah, with me was my Aunt Zainab who was nursing me. When my father went into the tent with his followers, with him was John, the servant of Abu Dhar al-Ghafari, who was preparing his sword. He was preparing his sword. It is said that he came out. The Imam left him, let him go. He gave him the permission to go. He will recite poetry going towards the enemies. He will attack the enemies. He was very, 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 very brave. He was defeating them. The enemies, like always, the only way they was able to defeat these companions was striking them from behind. It said that Joe, when he got struck, there was another companion trying to defend him. And Joe looked at him and he said, كيف ترى فجار ضرب الأسود? He said, how do you see this fujar, how do you see this hit of this black person? This is what he's saying. SubhanAllah. Bisay Sultana Anin Bani Muhammad. He said, how do you see this hit that I have given defending the family of Muhammad? SubhanAllah. He manifested this love to the utmost. أذب عنهم باللسان والد أرجو به جنة Marid, how do the transgressors see the strike of the black man with his sword defending the family of Muhammad? I will defend them with my tongue in my hand, hoping for Jannah in this Marid, this day when it comes. SubhanAllah. It is said that when John knew he wasn't going to come, he screamed out, Ya Abdullah! Ya Mawla! Ya Sayyidi! When Imam Hussain went to him, it is said that Imam Hussain took his cheeks and he put them on the cheeks of John. Imagine. Imagine what a blessing and an honor too when you're about to see Malik al-Maut, the Imam is next to you. It is said that the Imam never did that to no one but his kids. He wiped his cheeks. He put his cheeks on the cheeks of John. When John felt that warmness of the cheek of Abdullah, SubhanAllah. It is that when Bani Asad came to bury the Shuhada, when they came to the body of John, that scent, they wanted to know what was that scent, that beautiful scent, the scent of Abdullah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and the marifat so that we can fulfill our potential to the utmost when Imam al-Zaman gave us that call. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep increasing us in knowledge and to give us the benefit and the tawfiq so that we can understand Allah the way He wants us to understand Him. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep blessing this community, to keep blessing the board, to keep this community growing, and all over the world who are listening and commemorating the majalises of Abdullah al-Hussain, that they achieve this true ajr, this true blessing of these nights. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Matam Hussain. Ya Hussain. Ya